Good morning. Welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community committed to radical inclusion, defeating the human spirit, and yes, this day, to healing the world. If you are just joining us, I encourage you, please let us know your name and where you're joining from in the chat. And if you're ready to magnify some possibility this day, if you have some friends that you think need a message of hope and endurance, go ahead and click that share button and share this with the world. As we begin, I'm Reverend Robin Tanner, one of the co-ministers here at Beacon, and I am so glad to have some colleagues in the endeavor of magnifying possibility with me this morning. Do you want to say hi, folks?
Yes, good morning. I'm Jermaine Cripe, a member of your Lifespan Ministry team, and I work with your children and youth.
And my name is Misa Iwama, and I'm the Director of Music Ministry.
We are beloved this day, called to worship, called to consider what is of worth. We're already getting the text messages and notifications of hope coming through. Called to bring testimonies of hope. Earth's burnt sienna, crimson, and marigold in this corner of New Jersey, heralding hope with one more day of sun, with the whisper of I can, we will. So let the flame guide us this day, fire of commitment.
And if you would, please join me in lighting your home chalice with the following words. We light this chalice for the light of truth and reality, the warmth of love and compassion, and the fire of commitment and promise. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together.
I would invite you each, thank you so much, Jermaine, for lighting our chalice this day, and thank you for all who are watching, who are kindling the lights at home. As we begin, I would ask if folks would join me in just a brief moment of prayer, of contemplation, of what some call listening. This, beloved, is a prayer of yes. This is a prayer of affirmation for the buried, nestled hope and possibility, like seed beneath earth in winter. This is a prayer of what can be. To the whispers of dreaming, to the shouts of joy, this is a prayer of yes. This is a prayer of echoing their spiritual ancestors' wildest dreamings. This is a prayer of our mothers and our fathers' hopes. This is a prayer of the safety of our children. This is a prayer of the earth's chorus of life, enduring, springing, heralding new life. This is a prayer of yes, a song of possibility sung out across many lands, past borders and barriers. This is a prayer of what can be. And so, let us begin this day in the languages of the sacred, in the languages of affirmation. Ashe, Amen, blessed, blessed be.
Thank you, Robin. I think we're going to start with a song of possibility. And that song will be Olam Hesed Yibaneh. And those Hebrew words being, we will build this world from love. Olam Hesed Yibaneh, da 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 da. hesed yibane. Na da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane. Na da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane. Na da 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 da. I will build this world from love. Now you can just sing. Na da 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 da. And you must build this world from love. Na da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, na da 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 da, then God will build this world from love. Na da 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 da. Olam chesed yibane. Na da 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 da. Olam chesed yibane. Na da 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 da. I think we all pray that our world is being built from love.
This is a story about what can happen when we come together in solidarity. It's a pre-pandemic story called A Sea of Pink by Eliza Davy Pierman. Scott was nervous on his first day of junior high school. Junior high started with the 5th grade in his town. He was going to be among the youngest kids in school and everything was new to him. He had loaded his backpack with all the things on the back to school list, as well as his favorite lunch and snacks. He'd even worn his favorite button-down pink shirt and tie for good luck. When he got off the bus and started walking into the school, he realized how big the 7th and 8th graders were. He sure hoped he got his growth spurt soon. Scott didn't see any of his friends. Inside the school, he followed signs to his new homeroom, room 205. Suddenly, he felt himself being slammed into the lockers on the side of the wall. When he looked up, there were at least 5 older kids looking down on him. "Hey, girly boy," the tallest one scowled. "Boys don't wear pink in the school, you hear?" "Yeah," said another with a really deep voice. "And if you do it again, you're gonna get a beating." The first boy grabbed him by the backpack and lifted him off the ground. A teacher's voice called, "Break it up, keep moving." The gang of boys moved off. Scott looked up. It didn't seem as if the teacher had even seen him in the middle of all that. But several other students had. 2 equally tall boys came walking over to Scott. He started to walk away, thinking they'd do the same thing. But one of them put out his hand and said, "Hey man, it's okay, I'm Travis." "I'm David," said the other boy. "We saw what happened back there. What did those kids say to you?" Scott told them what had happened and the threat that had been made. "That's ridiculous," said Travis. "You can wear whatever you want to the school." Travis and David walked Scott to his homeroom. "We'll be keeping an eye out for you, Scott," they promised him. That day after school, Travis and David went back to David's house. "It makes me so mad that a few bullies tell everyone what they can and can't wear. We should do something about that," said David. "Yeah, but what can we do?" asked Travis. "We could tell the teachers," David suggested. "Yeah, but they'd still do it on the bus or at recess or after school," said Travis. "We need to take it to the people," David suggested. "Yeah," said Travis, a look of excitement growing on his face. "Hey, I have an idea. Let's ask our friends if they will wear pink on Monday." "Yeah," smiled David, "not just our friends, but everyone." "Excellent," grinned Travis. "I can see it now, a sea of pink." They called their friend Adam to tell him the plan. He suggested they go to the mall and buy a whole bunch of pink t-shirts. They asked their friends to chip in and bought 75 t-shirts for kids who might not have pink. Then they decided to send out the word to everyone in the school. Just about everybody was on Instagram or on Snapchat. The word spread fast. That next Monday, David and Travis were at school early with their boxes of 75 pink t-shirts. Many kids got off the bus with pink t-shirts on, and those who didn't came over and helped themselves to one from the boxes. Travis and David also had brought pink fabric, and some kids used it to make pink armbands. One kid brought a pink basketball to recess and gym. At least 415 of the students in the school, over half the kids, both boys and girls, wore pink. That day in school, the bullies were mad. They gave the kids in pink dirty looks, and one of them even threw a chair in the cafeteria, but people just laughed. The bullies knew that the boys had gotten their message across, a message about bullying and people looking out for each other and coming together in solidarity. It made almost everyone in the school feel happier. And what about Scott? He had worn that same button-down pink t-shirt and tie to school, but had hidden it under his sweatshirt. When he got off the bus and saw how many kids were wearing pink, he took off his sweatshirt and wore his good luck shirt and tie proudly. This is what happens when we come together in solidarity. Here ends our story.
My name is Deborah Graham, and I serve as one of Beacon's chaplains. We extend the care of our community even when we can't be together physically. We are reaching out weekly with phone calls and cards. We, along with the ministers, facilitate our virtual pastoral touch point on Thursdays at noon and in person. Outdoor chaplain hour on Sundays. Serving as chaplains has been really rewarding at this particular time. Each Sunday at Beacon, we invite you to light a candle. It could be a candle of sorrow, a candle of joy, a candle of thanksgiving, and it could be, maybe it's a candle of peace and unity. You are welcome to light a candle in your home. You can also lift up a name in the chat. We also light our candle of witness for Jonathan Price. Jonathan lived in Wolf City, Texas. He had a community business as a personal trainer and was the Wolf City High School football coach. He mentored and coached people of all backgrounds and capabilities. He was beloved by the community. His mother, sister, and friends said he always helped out anyone in need, regardless of their background. He was helping out a couple having an argument when he was killed. He was only 31 years old.
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. To all friends I will sing will sing.
Hi, my name is Madan Gounder, and I'm the current president of the Beacon Board of Trustees. When I first heard Dr. Tuli's Sea of Pink, the story reminded me of all of the ways that our own Beacon members have taken a stand against bullies and unjust systems by drawing the circle wide. Just as Travis and David did by creating Pink Shirt Day at their school in order for Scott in his pink shirt and tie to feel like he truly belonged. As president of Beacon's Board of Trustees, each week I witness Beacon's impact. It's a great privilege to witness, and sometimes it's hard to keep up. Remember back in the fall of 2016? That September, Beacon and Fountain Baptist members marched together down Summit's main street, raising banners at the entrance to the city of Summit, declaring Black Lives Matter. The ripples of that event and our ongoing partnership has led to some amazing coalition building. Do you remember the spring of 2017, when we unanimously voted to become a sanctuary congregation, welcoming immigrants formerly detained into our community? And do you remember September 2019, when our children and youth went on strike for the climate following Greta Thunberg? And now, here we are, deep into the fall of 2020. Our congregation has doubled down on our democracy, sending 5,000 postcards, sending thousands of texts, calling thousands more voters, declaring your vote is your voice and your power. Those are just some of the big moments, and only some, mile markers. Long after the 2020 election is over, Beacon will continue to create seas of pink, waves of liberation, and oceans of inclusion. That's our calling as Unitarian Universalists, to draw the circle wide, honoring the spark within each and liberation for all. We invite you to join us in our mission. Together, let us invest in hope through our morning offering. Thank you.
Here we are, friends. Back in 2016, on the Sunday after the presidential election, I proposed canceling Thanksgiving. Here in 2020, thanks to COVID-19, Thanksgiving appears actually to be canceled. Here we are. The cries of the Wicked Witch of the West come to mind, there as she melts into the ground. What a world! What a world! Indeed, beloved, what a world. So I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to breathe. Envision a world now, that beloved community. envisioned by prophets and sages, breathed into being by Dr. King, labored into life by generations before and those to come. Breathe, envision, labor. Open your eyes and keep that vision centered. Keep it here and here. On November 8th, 2016, Bill Moyers announced the death of America, and specifically American democracy. It felt ominous at the time, an American crisis point. The fate of American democracy has continued to feel at peril all along the way, each day, each month, each year, straight through to this election day and its fear-mongering aftermath. Back in 2016, I questioned whether our democracy had ever truly been a democracy, because on American soil, democracy and slavery, well, they were born together. President Trump's words and behaviors have outed an even more audacious way that white supremacy and racism, misogyny, and xenophobia are outed. He's just made it more popular. But it has been here. Last week, my teenage daughter and I were listening to the radio report, a report on the Electoral College and how the system of slavery shaped its creation. The report ended and the silence in our car was palpable. Anger woven into that silence. I broke the silence with a lesson that I keep learning. I said to my daughter, Lucy, whenever you don't understand why America does what it does, whether it's voting or its laws, whether it's taxes or its medical care, look to our history. Because the answer more often than not is rooted in genocide and slavery. I wondered what, in fact, had died in 2016. John Pavlovitz, an American veteran and a Christian pastor, argued that 2016 was an election about two different ways of envisioning America's future. One vision centers America's caste system, a system of domination of one community's supremacy over another community's. An America where normal is defined by the dominant voice so that everyone knows their place. An America that draws a circle narrow and keeps it so through violence, intimidation, and isolation. The greatest generation understood the power of we. They did. But the we was tightly defined and controlled. Their system was built on caste and therefore could not tolerate differences. Those who dared disagree, namely their children, the boomers, rebelled into individualism. Some of them were cast out of the circles of belonging, and others, let's be honest, were killed. The vision of Make America Great Again demands a return to a strict caste system where everyone knows their place. It is struggling to dominate American society once again in our time. The other vision, John Pavlovitz argues, leans into the possibility of beloved community. An America where we, the people, challenges us into evolving and transforming. Who are we, this vision asks? Who are the people of this republic? This vision knows that each generation will ask these questions and will widen the circle of we and of the people. This vision centers an America where our most marginalized citizens are centered instead of stacking us one against another. It is an America filled with stories and movements like the Sea of Pink that Dr. Tuli shared with us, a story in which ceilings of exclusion and bullying are broken open. An America that knows in its bones that each person's liberation is bound in another's liberation. This vision is centered in we, the possibility. We are living at a crucial moment. Can we move from what is possible into what is real and lasting change? 4 years ago, Dennis, a Beacon member and an avid runner, shared some wisdom with me that I have carried forward to this day. You know, Emilie, he said, the hardest part isn't getting to the finish line. It's getting to the starting line. Senator Elizabeth Warren was recently asked about her plans for Election Day and post-Election Day. Her response? Work like mad until Election Day, leave no stone unturned, regret nothing, ensure every vote counts, and then on November 4th, celebrate. I'll give it to you. It was a little hard to celebrate on November 4th. It felt a little bit more like holding your breath for an entire day. So if you could not celebrate on Wednesday, hear me now. I see you and I celebrate you, you fierce warriors of vision and hope. And then Senator Warren added one thing. On November 5th, we come to a new starting line. Because the labor of we, the possibility, is never finished in one election, no matter who wins. Quaker teacher Parker Palmer and the author of The Heart of Democracy says that our labor now is placing ourselves in the tragic gap. The gap between the hard realities of the world in which it is, and the real world possibilities, life as we know it could be, because we have seen it that way. We, Beacon, have to hold to our vision even in the face of failure, loss, and yes, even in the face of success. Palmer says effectiveness is not our measure. I know that's going to be hard for you overachievers out there, but effectiveness is not our measure. It is instead our faithfulness. Are we faithful to the vision of we, the possibility? Because when we are faithful, we will come to the starting line again and again and again. We will come to the starting line even when our feet are mired in mud. Even when our wheels are caked, we will help one another get to the starting line. We will. And then we will teach our children, who will teach their children. When faithfulness is our standard, says Palmer, we are more likely to sustain our engagement with tasks that will never end. Doing justice, loving mercy, and calling the beloved community into being. I wonder, friends, at what starting line have we arrived? The beauty of that question is that we are going to have very different answers to that singular question. There is no one starting line. There are so many different starting lines because there are so many of us and there are so many ways of approaching this vision, adding our gifts to this vision. So where is your starting line? What vision will you empower? Where are you called to show up and be? Because it's not what one of us will do that will save this day. We are, after all, a community of communities, as the ever-wise Paula Cole-Jones taught us. That's where the heart of democracy lies. From the voices of many, we are one beloved community. E pluribus unum. And it will be our many and varied acts of faithfulness that will lead to we, the possibility. That, beloved, is where our strength lies. So marathoners, take your mark, breathe, envision, and labor. Let us begin. Again. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
hesed yibane, da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane, da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane, da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane, da 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 da. I will build this world from love, da 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 da. And you must build this world from love, da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, da 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 da, then God will build this world from love, da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane, da 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 da. Olam hesed yibane, da 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 da.
Would you help me build this world with love? So now, in our comings and our goings, may the light of love shine upon us so that we may build the world with love. May it shine upon us, be gracious unto us, and may it bring us peace. For this, beloved, is the day that we are given. So let us rejoice and let us be glad in it. Amen. I'll see you this week, maybe today at social hour, maybe at Wednesday at Refuel. Anytime that we are together, there is love.